So we'll proceed to enter in the username and the password. So after typing in the username, you'll put in the password. Please remember that the password is case sensitive, so check your cap blocks to make sure that it's in the right case that you originally entered it in. So after typing in the password, you then click login. In which case, the login in, you'll be brought to a page titled Equality and Diversity Information. Here you would enter in the nationality of yourself. So you enter your nationality. And then the next one, you would fill in your ethnic group or background, which you'll enter that in. Do you consider yourself with a disability? You'll enter in what applies to you. Please select the option that closely describes your sexual orientation. You'll enter in the one that applies to you. Does your gender identity match the sex you were registered at birth? You'll enter in the one that applies to you. Please select the option that closely describes your religion or beliefs. You'll then enter in the one that applies to you. And please select the option that closely describes your marital status. You'll then enter in the option that applies to you. And then you would click save after making sure you've answered all the questions. We go to save. We'll then say, to help us monitor the effectiveness of our policies and practices, we ask you to complete the questionnaire. We'll then say, now you've completed it all, thank you, your details have been submitted, and then you would click continue underneath. It'll then say welcome, then have your first name and your last name. Welcome to the NMC's Overseas Registration Portal. To begin a new application, click below. So go to Start New Application. So once you've been brought to this page, read through the information above here and then click the application that best applies to you. Now if you are a registered nurse, you will click Registered Nurse, Adult General. So you will then go there and then click Apply. And then PRN if exists, PRN if you have not previously been registered in the UK, PRN section doesn't apply to you. There'll be areas that would be pre-filled in with title, first name, surname, your date of birth, your gender. You put that in. When it comes to previous name, if you've had any previous names, you would enter it in there so that they're aware, because you will be sending documentation afterwards. So it's best to be clear in the entire process, just so that they're aware. Now, underneath where it says date of birth, you'll then put in your gender. Another section where it says country of residence, you'll then put in your address. So you'll put in there the number of the property, and then the street name. Now, some of you might have PO box number, in which you'd put the PO box number in first, or put in the number that best applies to where your property is, but put the number in first, then put in the street name, address line 2 if it applies to you, then you put in the city, and the county, and then you'll put in the postcode. Then your telephone country code, and then you'll type in the telephone number, but not including the 0, because the plus and whichever number applies to your country cancels out the 0, and you'll just put in the numbers afterwards. Put in the mobile phone number, the mobile country code if it applies to you. The mobile number section is not compulsory, but you can add it if you so want.